this, and you can see that the price is single theme is free, so that's pretty cool. I like that. And I guess you have to sign up. Okay, membership type. So we could go grab that if we wanted to, or we could grab any other ones. One I like is called Pixel, and if I come actually to our back end again, I'll go to the themes, add new, and this is a fairly stylized one, Pixel, and go search. This one installed now, and then we have a different thing. Rather than activate, you have network enable, which means for every site you have the ability to have that theme. So that's cool. We got 2 enabled right now, Pixel and 2011, and if you want to stop one being used, you can use network disable. But I would say if you're setting up your own sites, you want to make sure that you do not disable it if you're using it somewhere. And again, when you first set this up, one thing I want to be very clear about, it is not publicly accessible for people to sign up. In fact, if I go here just to show you, we'll go to network settings, and you can see registration is disabled, and you could do all sorts of band names and things like that, and you can customize whatever you want, welcome emails and all that kind of thing, but you're the only one who's going to be able to use this, so that's fine. And if you wanted to, you can activate administration menus so you can add and do plugins from, well, if you're in a domain and you want a specific one for that user, they can add their own custom domains, or you can, should I say. So you can do it per site, etc. So anyway, we'll come over here, and one of the ones I'm going to add as well is WordPress SEO. Now, with plugins, it's slightly different. You have to make sure that it is compatible. So go to the plugin site, do a search to see if it's MU compatible, because some are, some aren't. So we'll go WordPress SEO, and just to show you what you're looking for, the kind of thing, if I go to the details, you can usually do a search for WordPress MU or something like that. Let's see, multi-site compatible. So we're good to go. So you want to make sure it is multi-site compatible, and we'll install. And again, same thing, network activate, which means it's available for everyone, and you're good to go. Whoops, and I haven't. I always get these crazy stuff going on. Now, the other thing we want to do is set up permalinks. Now, permalinks, you've got to make sure are set so that they work with your domain. So we'll come over here, and whoops, wrong one, settings, and permalinks. Now, by default, the permalink settings with WordPress MU are set to day and name, which isn't very user-friendly, because you get 2012, 9, 15, then your actual post name. That's not very good. Doesn't help us with the aim of creating authority and SEO content. So what we want to do is change it to this one here, post name. Now what this will do, and you're doing this on the root domain, but you need to do this for every site you create. So this is one of the things I really want to cover very quickly. This, just by going post name, this is the standard one we do on most WordPress sites, but it will also apply in a WordPress MU environment. So change it to that, just click save, and that's good. And then what we'll do is, because if you've noticed, we came out of the network admin area, and now we're in the actual main area for one of our settings. So we're going to go back up to network admin and dashboard. This is a very common mistake to make. It's easy to accidentally be put into the admin panel for a domain. But now we're kind of set up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a new site. So we'll do that. And we'll call this, I don't know, let's call it Bulldog Training. So maybe that's our site. We're going to do a whole load of stuff about Bulldog Training. That's what we want to rank for. So we'll call this Bulldog Training using our keyword. And then I'm just going to use the same email just for simple sake. And then add site. Now what this does, it now creates a new blank template site right on our MU. Okay, so now I'm on the dashboard. You can see that we've added Bulldog Training and we're almost good to go, but I almost forgot one thing. We need to add a special subdomain within cPanel. So come back to cPanel or whatever your control panel is. If you're having trouble with this, consult with your host. But in cPanel, you need to come down to subdomains, and we need to add, like we did on the name server, a subdomain just like this. We put a star in here, and then make sure it's going to our root directory, our public HTML. So if you do that, create that, and we should see it says, hey, star.k9mac.com has been created. That's good. And we can see that's been added to this list. Now, if we go here, and fingers crossed, if we click on visit, this is the moment of truth, especially when you're recording a live video, there is our brand new site. So we are good to go. Now, one thing I should say, we are creating some closely related topics here. So for example, if my main money site is about dog training or puppy training, I like to create a cluster of these that become my authority sites. So I'll create a cluster of WordPress MU sites. Maybe this one's about dog training, this one's about puppy training, this one's about German Shepherds, this one's about bulldogs, this one's about dashhounds. I don't know, but you get the idea. What happens is we then have syndicationRockstar sending out content to each one of these as we see fit, because they're all closely related, relative authority links back to our site. And then what we like to do, and this is one thing I recommend you do as well, is we customize each one of these with different widgets. We might create a Twitter profile, so we have what's called a social footprint, and then we might have some other authority posts going in here. We might have an outsourcer write some or get them from somewhere else, and literally create some content. So it's not just Syndication Rockstar content on here, but you make each one of these an authority site as well. And you can do this in any way that you see fit, curated content, for example, or what have you, whatever you like. But the main thing is that these sites build up in authority over time, and they provide links back to here, which gives you the increased authority, and your ranking increases accordingly. So very, very powerful indeed. Now, with that being said, let's have a look at the dashboard here. So we'll go, again, we're in now, network, my sites, network admin, dashboard, and then you can click on the site so you get a list of all of your sites. And the reason we're doing this is it makes updating easy. Guess what? If you have a plugin update, you update one plugin and it updates across all of your sites. If you have a WordPress update, guess what? You update it once, it updates all of the sites at once. You want to do a backup? Cool. You can back up all of your sites and accounts at once. Makes life so much easier. I can't even tell you. So by doing this makes, as I say, our life that much easier. We want to do this as much as possible to keep things organized and manageable. So what we need to do now is come across to our dashboard for this, and we need to make sure we've got a couple of things turned on. For example, we come to settings, we need to go to writing and make sure that we've enabled XML RPC. This is the language, if you want to post from Syndication Rockstar to this, that's the language we use. So now you can post directly to this as you see fit. Also, you need to come across to general and change things like this to your tagline, just like you would set up a normal website. If you want to change your theme, for example, right now we're using the default theme, well, you can find and activate, and I recommend you randomize these a bit. Grab a few so you have some choices, but I'm going to activate the pixel theme here. And then you've got all the theme options and stuff that if you want to, but if we just change here, click here, boom, instantly we've changed, and we have this new website looking thing. And then we come across to widgets, and I like to, as I say, mix things up. This one right now has all of the base stuff in here. That's fine. I like to mix it up, like I say, link out to other authority sites. So for example, if I'm doing a Bulldog training site, maybe I'll find a few Bulldog training references and authority sites, as well as my original Syndication Rockstar one, link back to that. No problem at all. Now, one thing I've recently I've heard as a kind of a bit of a myth is that, well, if you have multiple links from one domain, Google only counts one link. It's not true. Proven that time and time again with many experiments. They will count every link back in some form. Now, it might not be as credited as one link, it might be a lesser value, but that value builds up over time, especially if you've got lots of links from an authority website. Absolutely. How many times do you think they count links out from, say, Amazon or Wikipedia? The more authority you have over time, the more those links count. And that's the important thing. So you can set up many clusters just like this. You're already rocking and rolling, and there is a thing where you can actually do what's called domain mapping, where instead of being bulldogtraining.k9mac.com, you could have bulldogtraining.com or whatever domain and put it on top of WordPress MU. But that's outside of the training we'll do today. We might do that in an Ask Sean session if you're part of the Accelerator program, and later on, and explain how to do that, because that's a kind of a very advanced topic and goes beyond, as I say, what we're doing here. But that's it for the advanced training. Thank you very much for watching this. Now you've seen how you can create your own clusters and do some incredible stuff with WordPress MU to create your own private link network and your own private blog network. Take care.